Hi, how are you? Welcome, Smite fans, to the Sly Messenger patch notes. My name is Bart, not the Sly Messenger. Well, I guess I'm a little sly, and I'm bringing you the message, so. Me and Ratatoskr have something in common, I suppose. We're both the Sly Messenger, and, well, that's the title of the patch, at least, and it is, of course, as you know, the little squirrel god from the Norse pantheon, Ratatoskr, joining the fray this go-round. So, a couple of things in this patch. In addition to Ratatoskr, we got some skins, we got some voice packs, the normal stuff you would be used to. You may have seen some of that stuff teased already on Twitter. Got some Hercules and Aphrodite summer skins coming your way, and all kinds of other fun stuff. So, let's get right into the patch notes. The first thing I'm not going to talk about is Ratatoskr, even though that's at the top of my list, because we're going to move right on into the new god skins. And the first one coming your way is Aphrodite summer skin. There she is, Beach Babe Aphrodite. So this is part of a ongoing kind of Summer of Smite promotion. There'll be a lot more information about that coming up over the next few days. But there is her loading card, and here is her sweet, sweet skin. So she's a beach babe. She's wearing the bikini top and the sash bottom there. This is a tier 2 skin. It does not come with effect treatment changes, but you can see she has that sweet shovel. The birds are generally speaking the same, more or less. But yeah, Aphrodite sporting. Oh, they are seagulls floating around her head. It looks like the icons are nice and high fidelity as well. So yeah, she's seagulls instead of birds. It's a slight change, but a very cool skin and very thematic. It's very summery, isn't it? So yeah, there she is. You can see her as she does her idol, and even a recall here to see exactly kind of how this one looks from the front. There's also obviously a voice pack associated with that, and we're going to go ahead and go to that now. So I'll stop talking and enjoy it, guys.
That's so hot. Did you see that? OMG. That's totally awesome. Whatever. Rad game. Good luck or something. Shut up! No, really. Psych. Not cool. Get stoked. Take a chill pill.
Also, shout-outs to a little bit of tasteful side booty there on the left side of that skirt. Aphrodite. She's rocking it for summer, man. Look at her. She ain't afraid. She knows. She's the goddess of love and beauty and all carnal desires, so she ain't afraid to let it all hang out, if you will. Also, out of the summer skin lines, it's Huncules. The Huncules skin for Hercules, and you can see he's been on Muscle Beach here with his giant stack of plates and his sweet Smite Speedo. And look how strong he is. And there's Aphrodite in the background as well as unnamed other skin with white hair. What is that on the right side? I wonder if that's, who would that be? Maybe Nox? She has white hair, right? Although I don't know. You can see that sweet beach ball for his ultimate, so some effects changes for him. Obviously, most Hercules skins do have that kind of, his ultimate is what really changes. You can see just how strong he actually is. He's not wearing all those cumbersome clothes. And where did that... Yeah, check out his package. Look at that thing. Hercules. Virile and powerful. Yeah, no, this is a cool skin. And the sound effects are fun, obviously, as you hear. And that giant beach ball, well, you don't want to see that thing running down the lane towards you. He also has a voice pack, as you may have guessed. Go ahead and let her rip, guys.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Oh, you wish you were yoked like me. Gains, man, gains. So sorry. Nice set, bros. Keep trying. Shut your mouth, little boy. Yeah, right. You're kidding me, man. Get it? Get it? Ooh, oh. Yeah. I'd ask you if you lift, but bruh, I can see the answer just by looking at you.
There you have it. Oh, there you have it. It's Hercules with his with all of his clothing removed because he sees you, Myron, and he says, "I'll let you have it." So yeah, not only does he lift the weights, he also lifts the feels, and that's how he gets so strong. Hercules had a tough time on the come up, to be honest. A lot of trials for this guy to become the champion of Rome. But let's move on to the next skin in the line. You may have seen this one on Twitter as well. It's Crocodile Sobek. And, well, what's not to love about this one? And, yes, he does have a giant knife. Of course he has a giant knife. I love this skin. This is like one of my favorite skins that's come out in quite some time. Why is it Sobek, like, it's like, you know, the Pirate Sobek came out as like the first of a line of sweet pirate skins, and now it's like, I feel like this is maybe first in the line of a kind of safari theme, I hope at least, because this is pretty sweet looking. You can see his effects do have some recolors on them and some slightly different animations, and what is it? Is it all is it all a bunch of other crocodiles wearing hats? Sweet. There's Sobek for you, yeah, and he also comes along with a voice pack that I'm sure is just absolutely wonderful. So tell me about your knife, Sobek. Take it away.
I'm a professional. Ripper! Ice! Sorry. Good one. Have a go.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Be very
Your
quiet.
left tower is under attack.
No, you must be fibbing. Kick in the bucket. Have fun! I've got a bite quicker than the eye, I do. Shove a blowfly up your nose, mate.
So, also coming down the line here, my friends, as we listen to the final kind of lines of Sobek there, we also have a Zhonghui skin that's in the works. This is, let's see if we'll take a look at it before I introduce it. I don't want to spoil it. It's GI, or it's Commander John Kui, a.k.a. GI Zhonghui. G.I. Zhong is the name of the actual skin, but you can see he has that drone copter and the minigun as his in-hands now, firing off shotgun shells, it looks like. That's a little strange, but hey, why not? As his repeater, his Gatlin, if you will, is quite large. So let's take a look at his abilities, as we'll see what his mark looks like as well as we spawned out in Odin. Oh, and he gets the... That's awesome. He gets the crosshairs on him. So yeah, this is obviously a military-themed skin, similar to what you saw to Mercenaries. And there he can purge them, and then they go into his giant bag. And well, let's take a look at his stun. The copter goes, and obviously it's consumed on use. And well, we got to see the ultimate as well. Let's recall some demons and see what it looks like here. Oh, it's like, okay, so they shoot homing missiles out of his backpack. That's pretty damn cool. Big fan of this skin as well. John Quay getting another fabulous skin on top of the Ghostbusters one. I guess the artists really like making awesome skins for this guy in particular. He also comes with a voice pack, as you may have guessed if you've been watching so far. Let's take a listen to G.I. Zhong.
Oh, yeah. Ha! I don't just fight. I live it, baby. Dynamite. Are we cool? Ain't nothing but a thing. Ha! Good luck. Pump your brakes, kid. You about to cross the line. Blast it, we lost. Rock out. Hope y'all like hamburger meat, because that's exactly what you'll be when I'm done with you.
All right, so that, I believe, does take us up to the new God page. So a little bit of UI change here. You can see that instead of those bigger God cards, we've moved back towards something that kind of shows more of the gods at once. So there it is, a little bit of a UI update. Thank you very much, my lovely friends in production. Yeah, just get a better look at more gods at a time. Let's go and talk through the rest of some of the UI changes that are coming to the game this go-round, my friends. The League screen has had some subtle improvements, as well as the profile screen. You saw the changes to the God screen. And the Use God Cards, I'm sorry, the old view appears to be still available as the Use God Cards tab in the Gods options. Notifications have an achievement tab as well now. And the match lobby, okay, there's a PTS bug. So when this patch does go to PTS this weekend, it looks like the pedestals and God models in the match lobby are hidden behind the UI. We know about this, and it will be corrected in the next PTS phase. So thank you very much for your feedback, but we already know about that one. And I'll read through the others real quick. When viewing top achievements in profile and stats, mousing over tooltips show larger art for the achievements. Added personal honor to profile page in the player information square. Added scroll wheel support when browsing chests. Oh, thank God. I tried to do that today. Added proper redirection when viewing exclusives. Added final art for some achievements. Clicking profile tab on the profile page will return you to viewing your information if previously searched for another player on the profile screen. Duh. Fix an animation issue when using Alt-Tab. Fix sometimes not being able to see top achievements for search players. Also some miscellaneous changes as well. We'll go through these quickly. Clan quests now scale with the size of your clan to make sure the difficulty is correct. Added an icon on the arena minimap for when the friendly enemy siege tower appears. Fix buff camps, sometimes getting stuck around corners. Some changes to the conquest tutorial around minion spawning. Fixed buff holders not spawning in the center and joust. Fix gods showing underneath pedestals in the match lobby. Oh, damn it, that's always fun. And fix not earning no-scope accolade during the Shibalanke Ultimate. Because, damn it, you need that no-scope achievement, don't you? And that brings us into some item changes. Not too big item changes. Looks like a couple bug fixes here. Shielded teleport. Fix an issue where Janice's portal could cause shielded teleport to not use cooldown. I guess you could use it while you were like being banished. Oh, that's neat. That's a fun bug. Soul Reaver. Fix the passive not always applying to the maximum target when new off fire shards. I guess there was a situation in which you wouldn't hit the highest HP target, which is what that ability is intended to do. And that, my friends, takes us into balance, updates, and fixes for the gods. And this is always a fun part of the Patch Note Show where you get to, well, I guess spam chat with what you think, if they were good or bad decisions being made here. But Amuzin Cobb. Well, we're skipping Amuzin Cobb because he just had an issue with his voice. So we'll go right into Alpwash. So Alpwash, the actual change here is that his Fleeting Breath, this is his third ability, had his damage reduced from 32 to 40 to 25 to 37. So about 3 damage per tick removed. And his ultimate, Empty the Crypts. Duration reduced from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. It does appear to be a bug in which the fog itself will last for the full 8 seconds still, but we know about that and we'll be looking to fix it. And I do have a note here from the development team. Alpwash's poke with Fleeting Breath, which is number 3, at the start of the game is seeing a reduction, along with less duration on Empty the Crypts, while his performance overall is in line with other mages. He was succeeding slightly too well at zoning out enemy players, and I think that's pretty accurate. A highlighter fix for Anhur's Desert Fury. Anubis, his Sorrow passive. We removed the references to Resolve, which is an old mechanic, and now applies 30% crowd control reduction instead of the 33 and abides the 40% cap. So I guess there were situations in which you could overcap crowd control reduction with Anubis, but that's been cleaned up. Ao Kuang, some bug fixes around how the energy sword consumes charges. Arachne's Web fixed some effects appearing or disappearing. Let's talk about Awilix. That's really the next place we're going to have any balance coming in. So I'll read the note here before we get into the changes. Awilix, like Kali, will now have protections against knockups, slows, and roots while Gravity Surge, her ultimate, is active. This helps her stay in the fight even if she missed a pull on a jumping target. And I think that's consistent with what you see out of Awilix. While being very good, her ability to, if she doesn't kind of get exactly what she wants out of an engagement, she's pretty much just stuck in there. And so now when you use the Gravity Surge, it does give you a very big attack speed, physical power, and well, just attack speed and power bonus for your in-hands. It now will last a little bit longer, and it will give you immunity to some forms of CC, so you can move around in the fights a bit better as Awilix. Pretty excited about this change. I think it gives her a little bit more of it widens her niche, I think, more than anything. Not quite as risky of a pick. Bakasura can no longer emote during Regurgitate. Okay. Cupid, Heart Bomb, fixed ability instantly exploding on the Titan. Freya. So Freya had some adjustments here, basically all in her base stats. Freya is seeing an increase to her base protections and scaling to be a bit more survivable. Thank Odin's Ravens is the developer note here. Base physical prot increased by 1 from 13 to 14. HP per level increased from 77 to 80 per level. Ground speed increased from 370 to 375, making her one of the faster gods in the game. And increased magical protection scaling from 0 to 0.9. So Freya long ago did have magical protection scaling. It was removed as she is a mage, but now we're kind of getting more and more comfortable with the idea that Freya is kind of this hybrid mage, assassin, hunter, and given more of that role, it makes more sense for her to have that magical protection scaling. Nemesis, Scales of Fate, her ultimate, it's her passive technically, had some cleanups to make the amount of power Nemesis receives more accurate and reliable. So Nemesis now gains the flat value of power she steals rather than a percentage of her existing power. So the way it worked before was on hit, you would scale your power by a small percentage, and now you just take some power. And it's just a little bit clearer in terms of, one, doing the math and just generally speaking how it works. That takes us over to Osiris. So Osiris is the broken god of the afterlife, and the development note here says, he's getting some tweaks to his base and scaling defenses, put him better in line with basic attack-centric gods like him. So gods like Bellona and Osiris, these warriors that rely really heavily on in-hands, generally their stats are a little bit better in certain areas than what Osiris was enjoying previously. So his HP gain per level increased from 80 to 85. So that means that at level 20, he'll have an additional 400 HP. HP 5 gain per level increased from 0.7 to 0.8, so more regen as well, as base physical protection has gone up by 2 from 15 to 17. So while not necessarily the most aggressive changes in the world for Osiris, should give him a little bit of a of a better time in especially the early laning phase around how damaging those minions can be. And I think the final really balanced note here is going to be for, and this is probably my favorite change that we've made in a long time, is Uller using his ultimate to switch stances now removes disarm. And the developer note is great here because it is a different weapon for glory. So I love this. Personally, I think this is one of the best like kind of thematic changes you can make, right? Because if you disarm the bow, well, he's still got the axes. So I love it. I happen to love it. But now we're going to move on to kind of the moment you guys have all been waiting for, I'm sure, which is Ratatoskr. And welcome to Drybear, who you all, I'm sure, know.
Hello.
And maybe you love. I hope you love.
Probably not.
Yeah, maybe not. And, yeah, Alpwash is pretty strong. So maybe you've lost some love. But, yeah, Ratatoskr. This is the latest god being added to the game, so we haven't really broken out his kit very much. So, Rory, everything you say before we hop into game and start kind of going through his abilities and what he does?
I wore the shirt.
You wore the shirt. You did the thing. Ratatoskr, what is he? What is his role? And let's go into game and start looking at his abilities.
Yeah, sure. So he's actually a Norse assassin, and he is going to be physical. So he's going to be kind of like fitting that role that you expect. He's probably going to end up being our fastest and most mobile character. He has a lot of mobility, and as you expect from a squirrel, right? He's very fast. And he also has some really unique mechanics to him. I think probably the best thing we could do is just kind of run through the abilities in a wholesale engine, then go into one of the more unique things that make him.
Well, yeah, let's hop into the game here and take a look at Ratatoskr. We will not be hopping into the game just this moment, so let's continue to talk about Ratatoskr. So you said very mobile, right? But, I mean, it's not necessarily as mobile as, like, Sarkett in a fight, right? He has more kind of ability to move around the map, more semi-global presence necessarily than true in-combat move.
That's right. So you'll see him flipping around here and kind of jumping around. Now, obviously, you know, there's a lot of discussions that we were watching kind of on the Reddit and the forums and all that kind of, you know, how big is he going to be? And here you go. He's probably the smallest character we have in the game, especially when he's on the ground. So he will transition between standing on the ground and hopping versus in combat he is floating and flipping around as you expect a squirrel to do. In fact, I think, you know, I got to give a huge shout out to the animation team and to the art team as well. I think they really captured a squirrel here, and I think he's so adorable.
Yeah, so you can see when he goes into combat, he has that kind of lightning, electricity ball. It's kind of like a transparency that's holding him up, elevated in the sky. You can see he also starts with is it just called the nut?
It's the acorn of Yggdrasil.
Oh, okay. All right. Acorn of Yggdrasil. Could you plant another Yggdrasil with the acorn?
Potentially.
2 world trees?
It depends. Yeah, water it.
Okay, so let's talk about his first ability. It's very simply put a dash.
Yes.
And if you hit somebody, you could do it again.
That's right.
Now, can you hit the same target multiple times?
So how this works is this is going to be just a basic dash. It's called Dart. He's darting around, and probably one of my favorite ability icons in the entire game is that goofy squirrel. He's super goofy on that one, and honestly, when you get killed by it on your death recap, it's the most insulting thing ever. But one of the cool things about this dash is that it is a dash, but if you hit an enemy god that you have not hit in the last 10 seconds, your dash will reset automatically. Now, the way this works is every time you dash, the first person you hit that has not been marked yet will be marked. Which means that you can hit 4 people in a row, it'll only mark the first person, which means you can't hit that first person again. But if you hit those following 3 that were not hit, that weren't marked in the first one, so basically the easiest way to put this is every time you dash, you mark one person as on cooldown. Which means that if you hit him again, it won't.
Right. So if I dash through 3 targets, only one of them is no longer eligible for me to get bonus dashes.
That's the first one you hit.
So can we spawn some Odin bots in the jungle here and take a look at this dash mechanic?
Now, in general gameplay, you'll always be wanting to hit, you know, a target that you know you didn't hit yet, which means that you can have up to 6 dashes, right? He's very quick. So you keep hitting a new god every time, it will reset. There's some gameplay between dashing and dashing back to the same person, but overall, it's just really about kind of moving on the fight, being mobile, and really being able to reposition yourself, and it's really quick, too.
Yeah, it looks like... So here we go. Well, that's a friendly Odin. Yeah, spawn bot Odin 2-1. God, blame production.
There you go.
So... It gets a dash, and then now he has the dash level. So if you guys could turn off
cooldown
/cooldown so we can see if I remember middle school. What it's like to be young. No. So you dash through and you can see the ability does not go on cooldown.
Now it does.
Now it does because you've already hit that target.
That's right.
So you can, in theory, dash 6 times.
You could, yes.
Okay, got it. So that's the first ability. The second ability. This is one of the more visually spectacular abilities we have in the game. Break this one down for me.
So this one's actually very unique for a basic ability. Generally, would do something this extravagant on an ultimate, but we felt that this was just an awesome choice for him. So what he'll do is he'll actually kind of spin in a circle, and he'll throw out 12 acorns in a circle around.
It's a lot of acorns.
It's a lot of acorns, and we wanted him to feel.
It's a flurry of acorns.
It's a flurry. You could say that. We wanted him to feel a little more nutty, and also kind of like unique to him that he has a lot of control over these acorns, really bringing it into his visual style. So he'll shoot these out in a ring around him. They will pause briefly in the air, and then will return to him. So there's a lot of gameplay you can do with this. It actually returns to the center of where he is, which means that if you're attacking someone in melee range, it'll hit them as well. But there are things like you can stand on top of someone, pop them out, and you'll hit maybe 8 or 9 of them on the way out. And then if you can dash through them as they come back to you, you'll hit maybe 12 or 13 or 14.
So this ability, if we can mouse with the tooltip again, you can see is generally speaking really, really low damage per acorn.
Per acorn, that's right.
You're talking in the realms of like 7 to like 24, right?
That's
Something in there, right?
Yep.
Per hit. So, I mean, on the high end, it's going to scale fairly well because it hits a lot of times and have pretty moderate base damages.
That's right. Yep. So a lot of ways you can play this, and this, honestly, I'm really curious to see how the players of Smite really kind of figure out how to use this.
There you're seeing really the application of it. You would use the 2 and then have it and then kind of time it so that you are closing the distance with the dart.
That's right.
Right when you're kind of getting in range.
That's right.
Yeah, and so you can see it's a pretty high. I wouldn't say it's a high execution requirement, but it is a high kind of setup.
That's right.
It's not hard to do, but you need to be in the right.
Well, also, I mean, there's some modifications that make it easier as well, and also if there's a setup for you, you can do it on top of them and then dash again when they try to get away and hit them again.
Hit them 24 times.
There are some counterplay mechanics as well, and one thing that I really enjoy as far as gameplay is just having things that are rewarding when you use them, but also rewarding when you avoid them. So I think this ability accomplishes a lot of that, and that if you know how it works, you know what Ratatoskr is doing, you can avoid most of the acorns. But also, if you're playing correctly as Ratatoskr, you can get some really good damage numbers off of it.
There's his base card, right?
Yep, that's the base one with that little ladybug.
So yeah, you can see that his he has that kind of brilliant lightning electric blue markings on him that we don't see on the model here yet, and we'll be getting to that shortly. Right. But let's talk about his third ability here, and this is his lowest mana cost ability. Besides, there's a dart 35 mana. Am I reading that right?
Yes.
Oh man.
Well, you do it 6 times. You don't run
Okay.
mana.
Fair enough. So Acorn Blast. This is really out of his kit a very traditional ability.
Sure.
Right. It's just a cone targeter, right?
Well, it's traditional in its core sense, but it's actually a little bit different. It's got a twist on it. So, yes, this is a cone targeter, but it's actually not a cone. You're actually shooting 4 projectiles in a cone.
Like Xbalanque.
That's right.
Okay.
So at point-blank range, it'll act more like a shotgun, which means you're hitting all 4 at once. You get a lot of big bursts out of it. But at max range, you'll probably hit maybe 1 or 2.
Right.
And so that way, it's more like you're comboing with popping the 2, dashing through someone, and right when you're behind them, you give them the shotgun blast right to the back, and you get this really big, nice assassin burst.
Okay, right. So you're just looking at exactly what we saw there. We saw 2 of them hit Odin, but there's the shotgun where all of them hit.
That's right.
Dealing a pretty nice amount of damage. I look about what's the base? It looked like 66 4 times, which is pretty good.
It goes, I believe, 30 up to 70.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, so in theory, you have very high damage potential.
Yes. 30
to 70. So yeah, I mean that's no joke, right? That's nearly 300 damage out of the acorns. And then obviously when paired with that 2 and that 1, you have a pretty considerable amount of high mobile burst.
That's right. Yeah, his tags are nuke or escape. So he's all about mobility and damage, but doesn't really bring as much utility for his teammate as, say, a Thanatos or a Thor would.
Well, let's get to the ultimate. What is it called?
Through the Cosmos.
Through the Cosmos. So basically, he climbs up the world tree and then hops around. So if you don't know Norse lore, I guess, Yggdrasil, the world tree kind of branches out through all of creation, all of the universes, all of the planes of existence. And so Ratatoskr, being at home there, is able to kind of navigate that.
That's right. So one of the ties we have here, and you'll see kind of like lightning effects on him, the idea is that because he's so in tune with the Yggdrasil, he's able to channel its cosmic power. And that's why the lightning is coming through, and you see kind of like the crackling you'll see in almost all of his abilities and effects.
Yeah.
And the idea is that, since the world tree is part of existence, it's not really a branch. It's kind of this cosmic branch you see floating. He's really channeling or tapping into it and the ability to stand on it. You can see him kind of hopping around. So what happens is when you get up in the air, you have this opportunity to either jump down and dunk on someone, turning into a lightning ball and dealing massive amounts of damage, but you can also jump to a new branch. So this isn't Apollo where you're flying across the sky. This is you're hopping like a squirrel from branch to branch.
Yeah, so, I mean, roughly speaking, if I'm in the, let's say, left side lane, how far can I go?
You can get just about from lane to lane, maybe a little bit less.
Okay, so it's generally speaking, if you're moving in a straight line, roughly the same amount of travel distance as something like a Thanatos, it sounds like. But obviously, There's nothing saying that you have to go in a straight line.
That's right.
You can choose to go zigzags back and forth,
Yep.
diagonal, anything you want.
And one thing we did that was really special with this one, and as far as I can remember, I don't think we've ever done with something like this with an ability in Smite. This ability actually has no global cooldown. In fact, almost all abilities, in fact, I think all abilities in the game have one. This one, when you land on a new branch, there's no preliminary cooldown you have to get through before you can react.
Oh, okay. So can we see?
You can
see
hop
that?
from branch to branch instantaneously. There's no
Right,
global
because
cooldown.
you have to leap off with the third one to do the damage.
That's right.
So yeah, you can see just how fast he's able to move from branch to branch. And I think, I mean, is that as fast as you think it will go?
No,
or?
it's much faster.
Yeah, I mean, I would just spam clicks as fast as possible, guys. Yeah, so there you go. That's what you mean by it's ignoring the global cooldown.
Now, the one thing about this as well, and then there's a couple mechanics here. If you're just left-clicking the whole time, you'll have to go to the third branch to jump off. But you can also right-click at any time and go to your targeter as a dunk. So you can jump off the first one.
Oh, I
Yes.
see. So you can, okay, you
Yes.
can, I was under the impression that right-clicking canceled and you just dropped.
You go to your location.
But you will drop at target location with all of the damage of the ultimate entails.
So if you really want to jump off
Got
the first
it.
one, you can.
You can.
The second one, you can. The third one, you can. But just to make it a little bit easier to use, we made it so that you had to right-click instead of giving, you know, say a Sun Wukong target or something like that.
Right, that's right, that's right. So that's really cool. So I mean, that's his kit, right? But that's about half of it.
That's right. Maybe a little less.
So yeah, so those are his abilities, we'll say. Now let's get into really the meat of what this character is.
Sure.
Which is the Acorn of Yggdrasil.
That's right.
So at the base, it just gives you some stats mostly. But you can buy this item, as you're going to see, anywhere on the map. You can upgrade it.
That's right.
So can we go ahead and open up the store, guys, and let's take a look at the Magic Acorn and the Acorn of Yggdrasil and what my options are. So there's a left side and a right side.
That's right.
So left side augments one of my abilities, right side augments the other.
Sure.
So left side, the blue acorn, tell me about it.
So you spawn with the Magic Acorn, which is the base acorn. You can't sell it. You can buy it anywhere on the map to upgrade it, and this is basically in your inventory the whole time.
Yeah.
So the way this is set up here, the first tier, the tier 2, which is going to be that blue acorn, this modifies your second ability, your flurry, the acorns that go in a circle. So the blue version will actually give you a little more power. In fact, his passive really is I get crazy stats from cheap items kind of thing.
Right.
So these are actually pretty cost efficient for what you're getting out of them. So you'll get a big spike of power out of this. But this will actually make it so that every acorn in the 2 applies a big slow, 30% slow for 2 seconds. So now, contrasting the yellow version, which is on the right side there, that other choice, this makes it just hit 20% harder, which is very significant. In fact, a lot of times, you know, you may prefer to do more damage, or you may want the slowing mechanic, but you can't have both, right? It's not that, it's a choice, right? Either you're getting more utility for your team, improve your ganks, and you do less damage, or you do more damage, but you don't have that utility.
So both of your options at the tier 2 augment your second ability, which is that circle. And as well, so we can't show you both of them quickly, but buying either of these options does change that coloring. Correct?
It's my favorite thing we've done on this character, and I have been in love with it ever since we started working on him. Yes, that's right. These are all colored differently, and every time you buy an acorn, it will actually change the color of Ratatoskr.
So yeah, which one should we kind of demonstrate? Let's talk through the top 4 options, and then let's demonstrate one. So the far left sapphire acorn.
That's right.
So this one, it is your acorn blast now sticks. So this is like sticky grenades.
Sticky grenades.
Right? So that cone attack that left the 4 acorns out there, instead of now just kind of dying when they finish firing, they'll stay there and then detonate later.
Yeah, so they only stick to gods right now, or they only stick to gods. And they also, one thing that kind of like, you know, we were playing with it and looking at it, it's not fun to have the sticky grenades just vanish. And so actually when they go to max range, instead of disappearing like most projectiles, they'll stop at max range and then blow up. And that way you get a little zoning mechanic out of it. You can put a line of grenades in the way. It's really fun.
The second option is basically that same ability now. Heals you.
Yes.
By a modest amount. That's the Emerald Acorn. Let's move to the other side of the branch as well and take a look at what we have there. The Topaz Acorn. So this is just basically Dart now stuns.
Yep.
Plus cool stats.
Yep.
And the far right option is the Opal Acorn. Again, CDR, nice amount of power, and Dart now does like kind of AoE.
Yeah,
in-hand procking, it's nasty.
Well, so what happens with this is that when you dash people, you actually get this extra range. You get about 10 feet extra on either side of your dash. Your targeter changes as well. And what happens is when you dash forward and pass through people, you'll shoot lightning bolts at them. So you basically kind of zap them with white lightning as you're going through, kind of making that kind of like flash feel. But what it does as well is that those lightning bolts will proc on-hit effects, like crits like stacking up Iqbal, Executioner, Chin Size. And so you can build a very in-hand-based kit, which is, the rest of his kit is very ability-based, but you can actually go in-hand with him as well. So there's a lot of variation.
Right, and so that's only on the dart, right? You don't just get like procking lightning from in-handing, it's only on darting.
So the structure of this whole thing, the bottom tier 2 modify your 2, the whole left tree, those two both modify your 3, and the whole right tree, those both modify your 1. So either way, you're modifying your 2 and your 3, or your 2 and your 1, but they're both modifying the same ability on the same tier.
So let's go ahead and buy the Sapphire Acorn. I think that's probably the one that's probably the most important to demonstrate. That's the far left side of the tree. So this is the kind of the quote-unquote sticky grenades one.
Well, actually, let's buy... Oh, okay.
No, the hell with you.
So the bottom 2 will actually change your color as well to a different color. So 6 different colors you can be. But this is the Sapphire, so you can see that he's got the blue lines. And actually, when you modify abilities, those specific abilities will be changing in color to what you bought as well.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that first tier is like a deeper blue, and then when you go into the Sapphire, it becomes this kind of lighter, more azure.
That's right.
Blue, right? Yep. So yeah, we're out the max, and so this basically augments my third ability into the sticky grenade. So let's go ahead and take a look at that if we can. Fire those.
Actually blue acorns now, not just the regular. So they actually have that blue trail, much
right.
more blue, rich. And if you went on the other side as well, they would all become yellow.
Got you. So it's basically you have either blue or yellow abilities that get some hue adjustments based on which side of the tree you go to.
Well, the tier 2 modifies the 2. So when you shoot the number 2 out, it'll either be blue or yellow, or just the base kind of like grayish blue. And then since the far left tree modifies your 3, you either get your 3 is like kind of like that rich blue you're seeing now, or that dark green for the heal.
Gotcha.
And then on the right side of the tree, which is your dash will either have white effects with lightning, or it'll be like a rich kind of orange.
Well, let's take a moment here and go to probably the moment that a lot of people have been waiting for, which is how obnoxious is this voice pack? I haven't heard it yet, but I've heard tales of
tales.
Yeah, exactly. Damn it. Tales of a high-pitched kind of rescue rangers.
He's adorable.
Okay, so let's listen to Ratatoskr's voice pack. Take it away.
That's why they call me Drill Tooth. Acorns! Yummy. Sorry. Thanks for playing. Tread lightly. Shut up, Big Mouth. It's hard to find good help these days. Thorns and briars. Oh, you'll be fine.
Your right tower is under attack.
Wow, I would never have guessed you were an actual god.
All right, so yeah, now we're gonna quickly, as you heard, I mean, it is what it is.
He's cute.
He's cutie. Let's go ahead and pop through the different color options. So what we're gonna do is, yeah, you'll see we'll just spawn back as a level 1 Ratatoskr, and yeah, let's go ahead and buy the tier 2 on the right side.
Well, we can do the green. Grab that green.
Grab that green. We're gonna grab the green. Okay, well yeah. So buy the tier 2 first on either side. Buy the tier 2.
The tier 2.
Buy the tier 2. Either one, boys. There we go.
There we go.
Production tough. All right. So now you see the yellow.
That's right.
That yellow coloring.
And this modifies your 2, so now your 2 will have yellow acorns with yellow trails.
So yeah, can you go ahead and fire the number 2, please? And we'll see, yeah, that it is indeed that yellow effect.
Right.
That is cool. So yeah, buy now one of the tier 3s on the right side. And what? So those are opal or topaz.
That's right.
So yeah, I guess.
Orange or white?
Yeah. So topaz is what we're gonna go with. It looks like here. And so this is white, I suppose.
Orange.
Orange. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, looking at his tail, he's gotten a little bit darker than
Now,
that gold.
one thing that's really important for readability here as well is that the ability that's being modified is the only one that's changing color. And so that 2 will still remain a yellow color because you bought the yellow acorn, but now your dash won't be that other color. It'll actually be an orange when you dash. And that way, when you're looking at a Ratatoskr and you're playing a Ratatoskr, you can know exactly what he bought and what that represents. And you'll also see that since you went into the right tree, you don't modify your 3, because the far left 2 acorns modify your 3.
Right.
So your 3 will actually be the base color and will not change because you didn't modify it.
Right. Okay, cool. So let's actually go back and let's go up to the green side of the left side tree, and take a look at the healing effects and the healing acorn, if you will. So yeah, let's buy the tier 2 on the left side of the tree and take a look at the blue. Oh man, hook me up.
Hook me up.
Hook me up. Okay. So tier 2 left side, blue acorn. You'll see he'll turn blue, but it's not the same color blue as
softer,
tier 3.
lighter
Yeah,
blue.
it's not quite as brilliant. And then the green acorn, we would expect to have a green Ratatoskr.
He does this little animation too
Dun-dun-dun.
when you buy. He pulls
Oh,
out
cool.
his sack and holds it up in the air. You're actually, when you're buying, you're rooted. You can't actually move. And he's
Really?
actually pulling the acorn out of his backpack, holding it up to the sky, channeling the cosmic powers, and changing the color of the acorn and putting it back.
So, and this affects his 2, or his 3, I'm sorry, his 3. So this, now when we fire the 3, we'd expect to see green trails,
And you do.
which we do.
There's actually little leaves in there as well. It's very
This is a
healing.
really cool god.
There you go. Colors.
So yeah, so any kind of final thoughts, or always like to try to leave off with something like, what was something that like didn't make it? As we were iterating, like what's something that just like,
We tried flying death squirrel.
like sugar glider, like
That's
jet
right.
bomb.
Just like going at you, it didn't work.
Oh man.
This is the recolor, by the way, and the colors on him look fantastic.
So yeah, let's just go up one of the trees and take a look.
Just pick up the opal, the far right. If you pick up the white one on the white color, it looks great. It's also important to know if we could show the dash targeter that you get when you pick up the opal.
I feel like a
Okay, so yeah, we have opal now. You can see the white striping and the dash targeter, please. Ah.
This shows you the range of the lightning. Now, your dash damage will still be in the center, but the side panels there, kind of like bumpers in bowling, you can just see exactly how far that lightning will shoot out when you dash.
Okay, that's neat. So here's a question. Like, when you're in this ability, are you? I assume that you can still take dot damage, like any kind of other kind of out. But like, could let's say like a friendly Athena target you with an ultimate?
No.
During that. Okay, so you are out of combat.
That's right.
So similar to an Apollo chariot, can't be targeted by Neath. Okay, very cool. So yeah, that's a really interesting kind of option here that we have for this guy. I am really curious to see how this one pans out.
I'm excited to see what the Smite players actually do with this character because there's so many options.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's be honest here. I'm excited to see how people are able to break this.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, there's so much going on. There's so many interactions, all these abilities. There's gonna be some crazy emergent stuff that we're gonna be like, oh.
But if you buy this acorn and that item and do this thing.
Exactly. If you buy first item Soul Eater and the blue acorn, well, you're in whatever it's gonna be. It's really exciting. I mean, Ratatoskr is really awesome. So congratulations on a very successful design and a really cool looking god, guys. And thank you all for tuning in to the patch notes. Let me give you a little bit of a insight into what we're going to be doing for the rest of the day. So directly following this, we'll have our analysis panel for our pick'ems for the weekend for esports. And then following that, we will be having a 3-hour Xbox stream with Amanda and Scott to celebrate the closed beta of the Xbox One version of Smite.
Sounds awesome.
So if you want Founders Packs, which is the God Pack for Xbox, in addition to beta codes and all that kind of stuff, there'll be tons of giveaways then. So lots more cool content coming your way, guys. We'll go to about a 2-minute break while we set up for the next piece, and then we'll be right back with some esports analysis for your mom one time. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time for Patch Notes and Dev Insights. Thank you to Rory and all the production staff. You guys didn't do that great, but thank you to all the viewers out there, and we'll see you guys. Bye-bye.